Hello and welcome everybody to our Friday night broadcast here at ICE. We have Rainbow Six Siege. We have WIT Vikings versus TUD Apes for you tonight. I am joined by Nasparad.
Hello again.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the get ready here. We are just getting the map bands ready to go for you, but this is, I believe, the last week before the playoffs.
We have one more week, I think. Let me double check our scores. Although, with that said, both teams are extremely close on the group's leaderboard.
Correct.
And what you call? So yeah, I'll go more into that rather than just leaving that hanging there and assuming everyone's read it. TUD Apes, having won 3 of their games, drawn 1 and lost 1, are sitting on 10 points. Versus WIT Vikings, the newcomers this year, their first year in esports, really. And they're pulling ahead on 11 points with 3 wins and 2 losses. So both of these teams are at the top of the board. Generally speaking, on our board, if you're at 10, you're either at 10 or 11. And honestly, as I say, this week and next week are going to be very close games. We pay attention to see who can actually hang in there and get into our last bracket stage.
And we're just getting into the map bans now as we speak. They happen to start banning, so we're just...
Yeah, so it's this week and next week, and then we're into the good old knockouts, and that's when the real drama starts.
Oh yeah, because we just see how this... So, of course, this I think this leaves us... I think these are two teams that are very close in terms of in the actual brackets. As we start getting the bans coming in now, we have I believe it's WIT banning Theme Park outright. See what else? Wait for ban.
Try to check my history on these two teams.
Have the second ban come in. TUD have opted to ban Consulate. I don't think we've seen very much of Consulate this season at all, really, to be honest. Theme Park we've seen kind of here and there, yeah, but Consulate I don't think we've seen it all. As well with Villa as well, another one, another map that we really haven't seen much of this season. Teams have been really opting for the newer maps in the pool, but Villa's gonna get banned out, followed very fastly by Coastline. Leaves only Clubhouse, Cafe, and Oregon. Cool. So
yeah, it's not too surprising for me. In the past, WIT had in their previous game that we managed to get broadcast live, Theme Park and Consulate were their picks, and it doesn't surprise me very much that Theme Park was their first pick in both games. So obviously they just don't like Theme Park, and I can understand them.
Park's a very contested map. It's either you're good at it or you're not. It's very one of those kind of setup orientated maps where roamers are a big deal, and depending on which bomb site you pick, it can be bad for a team that doesn't know setups.
Yeah,
get that out of the pool. But our first map is going to be Cafe for T Apes. The Oregon as the second map as well gets set up. Now, why do you think TUD went with Cafe?
Thinking over it myself. Well, in their previous game, we managed to get TUD on for it. They did pick Theme Park, and Cafe is another one of those maps where if you're set up and ready for it, if you're practiced, you know what you're doing. It's a very good map to at least defend on. You know, if you know how to hold kitchen, if you know how to hold top floor, you know the ins and outs and what the attackers can do, and you could lock out their routes and positions, often just through practice. Then you're gonna do well on Cafe. Oregon, I'm slightly more interested in. We haven't seen much Oregon either, and I particularly like Oregon just for the fact of its close range engagements. There's some very cheeky positions you can get from the tower down to the basement, and the changes to Oregon in particular, I quite like. Just the basement is no longer this 2-lane death march. There's now the third area in. I think we saw. I can't remember who had played it previously, but I do remember some absolutely amazing frags coming out onto one of the bomb sites from that new area. So I'm very excited for Oregon. Cafe has just always been a good map to watch. So I can't wait to see TUD try to hold Cafe against.
It'll be TUD Apes starting attack on Cafe as well, with WIT starting attack on Oregon. The players into the server waiting for join, and then we'll be getting into action as quickly as we can. Bring up the current standing as we are in the final week. So I'll quickly go into those. Go.
Little trophy on the top right.
Yeah, got it. Right, so yeah, we have one more week after this. Of course, this being week 6. CITB have a bye this week. And of course, AT versus Apes tonight. Currently, top of the leaderboard, WIT with 11 points, closely followed by both TU and MU Crusaders. So this match really does actually have a big standing in, who's top of the leaderboard going into these playoffs in 2 weeks' time. If TUD win this, they are going to be ahead of WIT and actually taking first position. WIT then will down to either second or third. And it's actually pretty close. The top 5 are very close. So one of these teams in the top 5, the top 5 teams are WIT, MU Crusaders, TU Apes, UCC, and CITA. And one of these teams will not be making it into the playoffs, but they're all sitting around 10 and 11 points right now. So it's going to be a very close top 4.
It is. And if you were a fan of UCC, check in with them later on today. They're getting a bye next week, meaning their final game was today. So if you're a fan of UCC, check in with them and see how they did, because that's going to be where they're at for the next as we go on to the playoffs. If you're a fan of anyone else, hang on, because next week is going to be an absolutely terrifying week for these players. They're going to have to fight to not be in that bottom spot. And if WIT take it away today, WIT fans could probably relax because they're definitely getting in. It might not be top dog if they lose out next week, but they're at least getting in. So it's very close. If you're a fan of any of these teams in the top bracket, which to be honest is anyone who's been paying attention to the series so far, it's about to get very tense and very close for everyone involved.
We're just waiting for the players to ready up. Here we have TUD ready, just readying up. We're just waiting. UAT, which I believe has also readied up. So we are going to be getting map 1 right now, which is Cafe. Operator pick and ban phase. What do you expect to come out of these teams here? Of course, I believe the new Tuchanka update is actually out, but under ICE rules, he has actually been banned for the first 2 weeks because he's basically an entirely new operator. So ICE have decided that it's the safer option to that it's just the safer option to actually ban him out here.
Let him settle. Let the balance changes come
exactly. Yeah, give him 2 weeks, see how he goes, and then he'll be ready for, I believe, the finals. Sorry, I think he may be available in the playoffs actually. So
I'm not sure if anyone will even grab him for the playoffs at that point. The strategies are going to be fairly set in stone, though. With TUD, some of the strange stuff TUD do, wouldn't put it past him to pick Tuchanka as a surprise pick.
Now, first 2 bans coming out, we're going to see a Monty and a Blackbeard ban come out. Now, there has not been a Thatcher ban this time, which is surprising. Every single game I've casted this season has had a Thatcher ban, but clearly not this time.
I mean, Blackbeard does make defending the upper areas of this map quite difficult. Just his ability to survive a headshot or two does make trying to counter peek him on the windows a little bit of a pain. It doesn't surprise me at all that both Montagne and Clash are gone.
Yeah, this
tournament has been
shields.
This tournament has been very anti-shield. We don't like shields in this part of the country.
And as we move into first round here, we're gonna see WIT opt to take Bar as their first bomb site to defend. See Jaeger, Mute, Cade, Leash, Bandit on them with Habana, IQ, Ying, Nomad, and Zofia come out. But we're gonna have to see whether anyone decides to go for an early 6 pick. I think Oh, and there we go. Just as I say it, we're going to see Trap 6-pick off the Ying onto that Ashe. I don't know if the if the changes have come out yet, but I've been hearing. I had some Siege players go through changes, or some upcoming changes with tell me about them earlier, and they're actually removing Ashe's flashbangs very shortly. I don't know if that has actually been done yet, but Ashe's flashbangs will no longer be a thing, and Ashe is going to be receiving one more breaching charge, or one more of her grenade launcher charge instead, which is definitely going to change the pace of Ashe a lot once that update does actually come out. Because she'll be able to just run in, flash everyone, get a million headshots, and you know, she's going to be more of a Thatcher, or sorry, more of a
10 seconds to go.
more of a Sledge. You know, just open up walls and doors for her team rather than just a running and gunning headshot machine.
I don't know about that. I don't think you'll ever take the headshot machines away from Ashe. I mean, she lost her ACOG a long time ago, and she's still unstoppable.
Gonna see a slow push onto the outer walls by the TUD side. Just wait, just kind of see if slowly make their way in. Just try to not lose any too much utility or any teammates early on. You can see Capslock be holding the lounge hallway. Ninja is also there. Rhythm is of course watching piano. Fallen Leaf is actually watching balcony, and Explosive is roaming down the bottom side of the map.
Explosive is going to be an important player to defend against TUD, if anything, just because the uncertainty of having to roam around the map is what slows attacks down, especially on a map like this where you can just dive more or less straight in on the point. Everyone else, I kind of see them playing as fairly standard spots. You're just going to try hold as long as you can until you need to fall back onto the site itself. And players like Capslocks and Ninja are going to make that tough with their jammers and Jaeger's ADSs, which I can't wait for these knockouts because the ADSs are also getting quite heavy nerfs coming up. So it's changing the future, but for now, TUD checking the usual roof spots. A little concerned with just jumping down. Obviously afraid of any aggressive peaks. Fallen Leaf is in a position to contest anyone who drops down that main hatch. Well, as we see, a bit of more pressure going towards Christmas tree than anything else.
Yeah, a lot of piano pressure coming out. The Hibana charges are going to come out and blow up that wall, so they definitely know there's some intention over there. But Trap is already actually in piano and has them pushed back into Cocktail Hall or Cigar Lounge hallway. So let's see. Let's start flying here. There's a minute left on the clock. C4 goes out, but can't manage to find anyone. Ninja spots out 3 players there, but finds the kill onto Gabe to secure the first kill of the round.
Very late kill as well.
Kaner's gonna open up the wall as well. Stop him being able to hold from inside that bathroom, but Ninja's gonna find a second onto Trap with that nice clean headshot from his SMG there. Although, will he be able to find a refrag here? It seems like all the WIT side have actually fallen back and they're just waiting, but once again, a mistake comes out. Fallen Leaf finds a kill into Cheese, and Ninja finds a third on to Kaner, I believe. Badger finally finding one for TUD, but it's 15 seconds left against 4 players. He's got to have to go big here, and Explosive's got to finish Badger. Another headshot. That's going to seal round 1 for WIT.
TUD very slow on the push there. Like there was no players immediately holding them up in piano, and yet they stalled there for quite a while. The confidence wasn't showing. This is their map pick. They should know these executes. They should know where the utility has to be dropped and what has to be breached. So not a great showing, but definitely we're gonna pick it up later. We're gonna pick it up as we go. Was it? I believe it was Ninja on the smoke. Very, very well planned escape hatch into Freezer there. Even letting him get the kill. The canner had opened up with the Hibana charges. Always good to see the map destruction be used carefully that way, especially against the attackers.
Now we're gonna see Hibana, Thatcher, Jackal 6th pick coming out for Trap there. A Nomad, and I can't.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
It was a Zofia, I believe. So yeah, we're gonna see. So obviously that bomb site is now locked off. So I'm going to have to see bomb site they've gone for. They've gone for kitchen. which we've seen as a standard secondary bomb site for the teams in this tournament so far. It's a very safe bomb site, being that the bombs are so ingressed into the building that there's a lot of walls surrounding them. It's a lot easier to hold than the ones in Reading and Mine, just because they have windows attached to Reading and Mine. So these bomb sites very common for teams to go for. We're gonna have to spot how they decide to hold this bomb site in comparison to the top bomb site on Bar, but we're also gonna have to see how this Jackal plays out for the side of TUD.
I mean, I wonder if the Jackal pick is a reaction to what was holding them up. Maybe when they were droning, they could only count 4 of the players, and were wondering where Reimer was with the Bandit, and if that was slowing them down. They didn't want to start executing on an attack they were afraid they were going to get flanked from. So maybe with with Trap on Jackal, they're going to have some defense against these kind of sneaky ambushes, and hopefully that'll put a bit of courage back in the Ape steps.
A lot of the players on this all players on the UIT side are actually holding site now. Exblossom is going to start wandering off. Try to see if we can find anyone.
Early warning lesion mines, yeah.
And here, steps above him. That one thing about that main lobby room is very open. The sound does echo in that room. And actually hear people on the roof from stairs. Give him a lot of information, but and actually Trap has now entered in and is looking for footsteps here. Saw the little pulse of his gadget there, but yeah.
He might catch explosions, but other than that, no one's really been up that side of the map. Like, as I say, WIT, as you said, WIT have been playing from the site this time. Of course, they're looking in that kitchen is one of the sites you can play from, but TUD, they look like they're playing an anti-lurk game right here. They're looking for a player hiding, and there just isn't a player to be found. So this is just, really for WIT, this is just free time. TUD are just saying, please make this harder on us, because we're going to have to push with less and less time.
The only player that really entered that second floor was Explosum, and he only really touched the stairs. Trap did actually see those footsteps drop and not ping them, because they're probably a bit too old. Jackal's decent changes. He can tell how old the footsteps are just by looking at them, so obviously Trap may have seen them, decided, you know what, those tracks are too old, but he gets a sight onto the bomb site, spots out the Bandit. Is playing safe, but Trap does actually manage to find Lesion footsteps. He will spot out one, but he gets taken down by Explosum, who was very patient there.
Until seen by the drone, and then taking a well-placed shot. There doesn't know where he is. He's just gonna take these aim duels. Giving up just at the wrong second, letting Wild Gabe secure the kill. That's gonna give them, honestly, that's gonna give them control of everything but the site. But never mind, Caps Lock is contesting at the front door. Just barely the perspective, keeping Caps Lock in cover, and he is able to find Wild Gabe, putting it just onto the 2 remaining TUD players, Canner and Blue Cheese, to finish off the attack. Canner will find the first on the onto Wild Gabe. Blue Cheese on the second on the Fallen Leaf. Reimer and Ninja sitting on site, well covered, well protected. That first explosion, the Kapkan mine even going to decimate the attack.
Yeah, we've talked about it in previous broadcasts about how once that timer starts ticking down, you can hear the beeping of that 15-second warning timer, that all you want to do is run straight through doors and not check them. And if you haven't made your way into the building enough during that time, you're just going to run into all of those Kapkan mines. And honestly, those last 15 seconds are where those Kapkan mines are the most deadly.
I was absolutely, well, I want to say textbook, but generally speaking, I would have thought WIT would contest the upstairs a little bit. Had they all been sitting in I think the A side longer, those breaches through the floor, that vertical play, could have really got them in a bit of a dangerous position, but they were just quite lucky in that they were able to get into cover before TUD had any chance to really take advantage of any of that vertical play. And then, of course, Fallen's Kapkan. I didn't want to say anything about Kapkan, at least the caster curse ruined his play, but there you go. A kill in the last 15 seconds of the round.
It's definitely, TUD just took a bit too long to make their way into the building. They took too long to clear out. They just too afraid of someone someone roaming, and they just didn't really seem to know what play they were going for once they actually made it to the bottom floor and cleared the rest. So once they actually managed to get down there, they were just getting into aim duels that they were losing, and WIT had their number, but they managed to frag a few kills, but that final Kapkan trap and the person behind the counter just managed to just stop them dead in their tracks.
5 seconds to insertion.
We are going to see is Trap swap onto the hard breaching role here, onto the Hibana. Kainer's going to swap over to Thatcher. Blue Cheese is on Nomad. Gabe is on Ash, and Badger is on that Sophia. We have pretty much seen most of the same from WIT, but we are now actually going to see Explosive swap over to Mute and a Malutzi on Fallen Leaf as well.
Malusi's going to be fairly critical on this map, if anything, just because in the previous maps they've been able to play on site, and that means they get to sit still in a comfy little kitchen with a lot of walls that can't be breached. This site is right in the middle of every single flank part of every single flank movement. If you want to go upstairs, you got to pass by the sites. If you want to get downstairs, you got to pass by the sites. If you want to drop down the open lobby there, you're going to be in full view of all the bomb sites. So Malusi's gadget, which will slow attackers down and let out an annoying little buzz, is going to give them intel that they're really going to need, because at this point, hopefully this will be a site TUD will be better. They've been slow on their attacks so far, so hopefully they'll be able to take the advantage and explode on, rather than be bullied around by this area control that WT are bringing out. You can see it starting already. We're trapping Piano, yeah.
Piano, Badger by his side. Gabe has now also dropped in through, I believe, the roof top window, I believe it was, he dropped in through, but they're just clearing out the site. There's 4 players all collapsing onto I don't even know who that is. I think it's Fallen Leaf or Rhythm. Caps lock. Vanishes to point 2, but
down.
They're gonna get him back up, and big play coming out from Caps Lock there to manage to actually pick up 2 kills, but Lushis will get rezzed, and we will see back to a 3v3. Big play there from Caps Lock just to find those frags and make it an even footing for their team. But that was definitely a different style of TUD we're seeing there. They went very aggressive. They just stormed the top floor, which is exactly what you want to see out of them. You need to see pace at times, and all four players collapsing onto one player. You're only really hoping to lose one, but you know it still worked in their favor. So I have to see whether they can continue this later into the game.
And they're just making much better time now. There's still 40 seconds. They've got 2 players down, and they're starting to put pressure onto the main side. So it's much better than the last 2 rounds. Although these peaks will tell all, as Trap does knock Reimer down into the down but not out state. I'm not sure. He probably can guess it. We do have the points, the points things turned off, but he can probably guess given the ban is not getting back up.
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser.
Fallen accidentally team killing his down but not out bandit, but hopefully a little bit of pressure. It's a 1v2 to try to get that diffuser disabled.
That Jaeger ADS managed to eat up 2 of those flashbangs, but the 3rd will come in, and Trap just decides, you know what, I'm gonna lie down on this diffuser and just wait for you to walk in.
Oh, Siege, we're playing dead is a valid strategy.
Now, of course, that Jaeger ADS eating up 2 flashbangs will soon be different. It's going to be that it has infinite ADS charges, but between each ADS charge is a 10-second cooldown, which is definitely going to change how Wamai and Jaeger actually affect the fights, because you know it might be if anyone's a fan of Chalet, which I know a lot of people don't like. If that garage, you know, they put a little Jaeger ADS over the drone hole, and it just eats up everything. And you can put 2 of them there, and but now it's gonna be different.
I'm happy about this. I'm happy about that. I like the changes. If anything, just because it's going to cause a shake-up and it's going to move people away, maybe from Jaeger. Probably not. That assault rifle's quite good, or Wamai, or at least both of them together. You know, see some new strats coming out rather than just sitting behind the ADSs. Talking about playing favorites, we're back up to the top floor, and I expect Ninja to knock a nice little rotation hole in between freezer and bathroom there. And we'll see if TUD have learned anything from their previous attempt at this site and the more successful previous round. See if they can pick up the pace and get a little bit more aggressive where it matters, rather than letting WIT dictate the pace of the round with these prepped positions.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Now we're seeing traps up over to the Thermite hard breach in Habana mostly as the primary hard breacher for this game. So we're gonna have to see how the Thatcher changes this up, because they can no longer just breach from inside, from above the hatch. They actually have to put a player in, you know, the danger zone to get that wall down towards Yano. But we're gonna have to see whether they actually opt to send him in there or send him in somewhere else. Jammer is going to take down that drone straight away. They're having trouble spotting out the drone. The EMP is going to go out, which means that mute jammer is going to be down. Drone is going to be back up. They're going to be back for these players.
Grab a couple of lesion mines in the course of doing that. Disabled for the moment, as per the Thatcher change not too long ago. And there's a good bit of intel coming in, but we're going to start to need to see TUD get some area control. They've started to drop down. They're starting to take on Cigar. Caps Lock sitting in the default position over at Piano. Will he be able to find a killer? Because Buzz in a very aggressive position at Piano. He's slightly trapped. He's going to have to contest. And as Caps Lock finds the first on the blue cheese, hopefully that'll prompt a bit of a misplaced aggression.
Blossom actually opting to stand up there. If he would have just waited, the Ash would have popped in and not seen him. But he does stand up. He does expose his head. He does manage to get a shot onto Gabe on that Ash, but not a fatal shot. And then turning, of course, and trying to find some damage onto all the two players. But he will fall. And we now see TP start to breach through these walls, start to push towards those bombs.
Breach and a kill.
Trap finds another onto, I believe it was Rhythm. Joe gets a frag though, straight onto Gabe.
Not in the best of positions. He's kind of cornered here in a trap of his own making, but hey, TUD are learning. They still have a minute left, a good 50 seconds, and they have, if not, they don't exactly have control of the site right now, but they're in a very good position to move Ninja and Fallen out of the way.
They have spotted him out. They know one of the players on the side of TUD are droning out though, so if they wanted to change position, this is the one moment they probably have, as Ninja actually does manage to rotate out of the bathroom, but does get taken down quickly after. Trap almost gets taken down by Fallen Leaf. Bomb still has not been planted as Trap finally starts placing down the diffuser, but
15 seconds left.
Fallen Leaf find the kill onto Badger. It's all on Trap with 10 seconds left. He looks like he's going a bit kill hungry here, and he will find it with that 5-7.
Very intense fight. If he was concerned that Fallen was going to rush up to him if he stuck the defuse, or if he just decided that he really wanted to shoot Fallen, but either way, it's played out well. It's now 2-2, and we're starting to see the TUD I know and love. You've started to see the players who can really bring the pain when they need to.
WIT lock in Kitchen once again. Those 2 bomb sites aren't really the best, but the option, they could have actually stayed up in bar if they wanted to, but decided, no, we're going to go Kitchen. We're going to go back to a bomb site that we are. It's safe, but we are going to see a Vigil come out on the side of WIT this time, and they're not even 6-picking onto it, making it obvious to TUD. Hey, we have a Vigil. You guys are going to have to slow your push down, and you know that is something that split them, made them lose that round, which they lost. Sorry, lose the round they lost when they first tried to attack Kitchen. They took a bit too long. They just couldn't get it together, and now with that Vigil in play, they're going to have to be like, oh, okay. We're going to have to clear every single room, make sure that this Vigil isn't hiding in a corner waiting to walk up behind 5 of us to get an ace.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
And true to the, well, not so much a bluff now, but true to the pick, Caps Lock is beginning the lurk, heading upstairs, using Vigil's interference gadget every now and again to try and make sure that he doesn't get tagged by any drones. Really, what we're expecting out of this is, if not a kill, a little bit of damage, maybe a bit of spook, and then getting back to site. Caps Lock ideally doesn't die on this flank.
All Caps Lock needs to do is make his presence. He needs to make TUD slow down, waste time. If he can manage to stop TUD from any given point after 30 seconds, then he's done his job. He can fall back to his team, but They're gonna start droning in here, trying to find him out. I actually believe Explosm has opted to also roam up to that top floor, because TUD really do like pushing it, but they'll get spotted out, and that's gonna be a free kill from Badger there. And they're gonna find Caps Lock as well when he was rotating back to second floor. This is a big blunder from WIT here.
Oh, this is a disaster. Explosum could have done so well, but that drone, I'm not even sure if the drone saw him. Either way, his insistence on trying to shoot it down was exactly what gave Badger the chance he needed to flick and just delete him from the game. And now, with 2 players down, they have to know that they have way more map control than they should this early in the round. Yeah, and here we go. The Thatcher knocking out these electric claws from Reimer is gonna mean that Trap is just able to open this reinforced hatch, no problem. This is why Thatcher kept getting banned.
He just gives so much utility, just stops those electric claws. Of course, notice the Thatcher not being banned. We haven't seen a lot of Collie this time. And of course, Collie was the other operator that we've seen a lot of in terms of trying to get rid of these electrified walls from Kaid and Bandit. But with Thatcher being left completely open, and I don't think they will be leaving it open again after this game, but it's just putting himself to good use, just open all of those doors and those hatches.
At this rate, Canada doesn't even need to get any kills. His existence is utility enough. And here we go. They're about to open up the freezer wall as well. There's going to be nowhere for WIT to hide after this on site. Trying to find the players. He can get some damage, but he can't find a kill.
Rhythm was actually able to spot out 2 players as they walked onto the bomb site, but couldn't find 2 headshots he needed, so it's all on Fallen Leaf now. He's getting droned out. They know where he is. They have players sitting above and on the actual bomb site, so he has to find 4 players, but as I said, there is players just watching from above. Great angle there through the floor, just able to watch that door. Spots out the Legion, who they already knew was actually in that door, or in that area, so he is gonna fall that, but they're gonna see them move back to Bar as TUD take their third round in a row. Now, of course, if you are WIT here, you want to be winning this out this round. You want to bring it back to a 3 or the side switch.
Fortunately, that means you're going to have to start winning the gunfights against the likes of Badger and Gabe, who are showing that they can very much handle themselves when it comes to unexpected attackers.
Both Trap and Badger actually sitting 5 kills for the side of TUD, and Caps Lock, of course, on 5 on the side of WIT as well. But we're gonna have to see how WIT opt to change their setup from last time, whether they actually decide to hold this bathroom. Of course, they got a bit unlucky. Explosive just managed to get picked off. He was the only one really holding, last time they took the Bar position. So maybe they'll opt to sit a bit safer. Maybe they'll opt to put a player on the lower bits of the map. But the one thing I have noticed from the 2 WIT or TUD attacks on the top bomb site is they do just tend to go from only the roof in fear of roamers being beneath them. So maybe they'll go for something different here. Maybe they'll go into second floor and work their way up, take the stairs. Take a bit of time. It only takes an extra 20 seconds to just clear that site, clear the site below, and you can even blow up the floor from below if you really wanted to remove some of the electrified walls. But we're gonna see whether TUD decide to change up their strats here.
I have a feeling they're going to stick with what they know. Just out of seeing how many players just decide to attack the roof, the roof alone, rather than clearing the downsides. But you are right. There's a lot of potential map control and game to be gotten if you do assault down below. You gain control of the likes of Library and just tear the floor out from underneath them. That's where characters like Buck and even Sophia, who is on the TUD side, shine. But instead, we're gonna just opt for the usual side push. It's worked before. It'll work again.
Bosm is gonna put out 2 drones and take those down. So, of course, TUD, as we've seen so far this game, are just throwing out everyone. Or, of course, later into the rounds, they've actually used it with any 30 seconds left on the clock to find out the last player. Figure out where they are so they can figure out what the best course of action for planting a bomb or finding or killing the last player is. So their drones to their advantage. So 2 of them going down to Rhythm just there. Not what TUD want, but Has to happen sometimes. You actually see, Eve, 7 or 8 drones left on the side of T. Very good number, seeing as during prep phase, usually a lot of drones get taken down. So the drones on the TUD side being, being returned to the user, good one. Or Rhythm will find another drone, and 2 more drones will be placed to be able to just spot out the players.
This is a dangerous breach for WIT. Having such easy access into the freezer, that cuts a dangerous gap in the site. And Caps Lock going to start capitalizing and finding a kill onto Wild Gabe, but Trap will take Rhythm and Ninja down. Both players trapped by that bisection of the site, nowhere to run. And now it's just down to the gunfights. Caps Lock able to fend off whoever, I believe that was Trap. Given the fact that was just a pistol.
Caps Lock knows that he downed Badger as well. He tried to spray through the wall but couldn't find a kill. I don't know if he's down Blue Cheese though. He's actually managed to players. Knocking down to very low HP here. Spot out. And then they get revived here. When the Jiggle Peak just being watched by Trap. Trap manages that kill. Blossom finally picks a 1-up onto Badger. He finds a second onto Kaner, and the third onto Trap. The headshots are coming left, right, and center. There's only 1 player left, and he's down.
He doesn't know.
But Explosive doesn't know and has to waste his time. He needs to go for the defuse here, but he doesn't know that Cheese is down. He will spot him out right now. What? And there we go. Explosive finally spots out Blue Cheese, and the defuse will come out, and that will be a 3-3 scoreline as we swap over to the second half.
Whew. Oh, very close, guys.
Bomb defusing attempt failed. Defenders won.
Massive kudos to Explosive just for exploding, popping off, killing the majority of the enemy team by himself in order to get that diffuser destroyed.
I wanted to see what WID decides to do differently here on the attacking side compared to TD. We're going to see, of course, a Thatcher. Thatcher being in play is such a big thing. He obviously going to be a Thatcher. Ash, Hibana, Sophia, and Thermite against a Goyo, Jaeger, Pulse, which we haven't seen so far today as well, along with a Goyo, and a Smoke and a Mute, but we may be seeing a Vigil.
Here we go. Utility denial meta coming in strong thanks to Gabe and Trap.
That will change, but while it is still the meta, see players continue to use their advantage.
You say we're going to see some differences with WIT, and I find it slightly hilarious that they've picked basically the exact same roster as TUD's early rounds.
Yeah, well, Thatcher and Hibana, of course, actually the biggest thing that I've noticed on the side of TUD here in terms of their roster comparison to TUD is they're actually running instead of player taking Hibana or Thermite, so they lose a little bit of, utility because they decided to take 2 hard breachers, but it's just a bit safer, meaning that if somebody gets picked off early, that you're not just locked out of the bomb site and having to hard push through solid walls. So
fairly standard split, 4 players upstairs, 1 player, this being Wild Gabe on the Jaeger, taking a lower position down in the library. This is kind of what you expect to see on Cafe.
indestructible banister ever, but Gabe will take it down just so that he has a little bit of a clearer view onto that hatch if they drop through. It does look to me, sorry, that some of the players on Explode Dash is actually droning out second floor. He's looking to enter through the second floor. Him actually stop. I thought he was going to go in through the second floor.
I think he's more worried that someone's going to run out behind him and shoot him as he's hanging.
Did just hear the Hibana charges start going out. They are going to blow up that wall into Piano, which is a very standard position for these teams to actually just blow up. It just opens the big side of this site, but only a few of those Hibana charges actually went off, I think.
That's a mute jammer. That's a mute jammer causing interference. They didn't clear that.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
That's a bit unlucky from the side of WIT there. That wall isn't going to get breached just yet. That mute jammer could effect, but very underrated character. But when he does stuff like that, Caplock and Trap going to get into a bit of a fight, but Trap's going to take the worst of it, taking a lot of damage.
Although, as we said earlier on, this is just bleeding time. We're now down. We're about to hit 1 minute left, and no players of WIT have made it into the building. Yeah, even then, Wild Gabe has taken Explosum down, putting the man advantage into the defender's favor. So this is starting to look bad for WIT. They're going to have to make a push, and they do. They're starting to move into red staircase. Bit of damage on the Wild Gabe will see him falling back, but no kills to even everything up just yet.
Gabe will get spotted out on the stairs though, and the flashbangs are going to come out. As we now see that breach charge from Caplock start coming out as the One My Traps also go down. He's going to find one onto Fallen Leaf, and Trap's going to find one onto Ninja.
15
Gabe and
seconds
Ninja are just working Gabe and Trap are working so well in this
10
match,
seconds
just
to go.
working side by side, just making sure that these WIT players don't get anywhere near the bomb site. Badger will seal out the round for it to be their flawless round for WD.
A well-deserved flawless round. This is more or less how you'll be playing the site at most high levels of play, especially with Wildgate playing the wild card and just grabbing whatever position he needs to and getting out of them before he gets locked down and killed. So TUD obviously prefer. They've picked this map. I was wondering why, with their attacks faltering so quickly, but here we are. I think it's more of a defense style. And now Trap has pulse, and you know what I want to see? I want to see someone get a C4 kill. Come on.
Oh, he of course Six picked the off of it the last time to that. Actually picked.
Valkyrie, I'm happy with. Valkyrie, I'm okay with.
That's it. This is a definitely Six picked Walleye. This is a
Defenders
different
protect your bomb from being defused by attackers.
different side from TUD. You know, the Valkyrie and the castle just once again try to slow them down. Badger is actually going to go onto the vigil as well, which I don't pass around. But we're gonna have to see where these Valkyrie cams actually end up going. I believe Trap is, knows those outside cams that we've seen used so much before on Cafe during these streams. So we're gonna have to see whether Trap goes for those spots or whether he's just gonna, chuck them under the table and pick that on.
I want to see a rehearsal of who was it? It was MUCIT, I think it was. Puff just kept throwing the black eye cameras outside, and seemingly no one could find them for the entire game. And the attackers were constantly wondering, where are we getting pinged from? Where are they getting this intel?
Feed up and running.
Trap opting to go with some interior cams. Or WIT side start pushing walls. Explosive though is actually, I believe I thought he was pushing in through the bottom door, but he is going to be rallying up.
Not that high speed. Not yet. These camps coming out of TUD are going to be holding this from upstairs. Now, extra interesting considering that this isn't the site. The site's downstairs.
TUD are actually opting to hold the top site as if, or the top bomb site as if the bomb site they're currently holding, if it actually is the bomb site that they are holding. It just slows down WIT so much. So many teams opt to go up, work your way down from the approached map. But when teams decide, you know what, let's take the bomb site on the second floor and let's hold the top floor, it just slows down the pace of the game, because not only do they have to take the top floor, they then have to waste all their resources getting and clearing the top floor, and then they also have to work their way down and then start breaching again onto the second floor. There are going to be some reinforced patches here.
I love watching all of WIT's players come round the doorways very carefully, very seriously, and then kind of just internally go, damn it, because they see the castle cage set up blocking the doors. I love to see a good castle play.
Castle Cage, you can't actually just break them by meleeing them off, but
But then they'll shoot you in the feet, Celtic. You need to think about your toes.
yeah, we're gonna see an Ash, but the blue cheese is gonna find a kill onto Rhythm. Fallen Leaf is gonna find a refrag onto Gabe, but Badger's already walked up the stairs and has found a kill with the Vigil onto Fallen Leaf. TUD are literally just playing this as best as they can. They're just letting WIT walk in conditions. They basically done they set up for exactly what WIT are doing right now. They set up perfectly, walk into the parts of the hot bomb site, let them have access to, and then just flank them and take them down one by one. But Trap is going to get taken out. Capsock is going to find 2. He's going to find the second onto Kaner, which means top floor is now actually cleared, and it's all on Blue Cheese and Badger, who Badger's the only one actually on the site. The walls are unreinforced because they use so many of them on the top floor, and it's all on Capslock. Has the diffuser, but has to clear everything and doesn't have the time. Spots out one. He hasn't checked his behind, and he's going to get killed very quickly here. There it is. The timer's going to run out, and he has to let go of that diffuser.
I was wondering if we were going to get the cheeky melee. A very good hold from TUD and an attempt at some BM at the end. Anyway, we switched off a pulse and we still got the C4 kill, so I'm happy now.
I see a Maestro come out as well on the side of Perhaps just going to make it clear he's Valkyrie. Also, though, we question it about it first. We're going to see actually going to be up pulse. We've seen very little 6-picks coming out on the side of WIT actually. TUD are actually opting to use them as kind of baits to try to see if they can bait out a 6-pick and see if they can get WIT off to players or certain characters. But it seems like WIT kind of have a game plan in mind. Whoever their IGL is just saying, this is what we're doing. Don't look at what they're doing. Just pick what you're comfortable on, pick what works, and we don't need the 6-pick games.
Which is good. Sometimes the mind games help. Especially if you do something strange like tell the enemy team you're going to be picking an intel character like Valkyrie and then instead switch it over to Legion, meaning that they shouldn't be aiming at walls and sneaky corner positions on pillars and should actually be watching their feet.
Yeah, we're gonna see the ace come out as well. This game.
Yeah, I can see a lot of players grabbing Ace, if anything, just because his gadget is a bit one and done. You know, it's not like Thermite where you have to get up to the wall and you have to put it on the wall and you're vulnerable for so long. Ace just chucks that water breach onto the surface and then you're good from there. Who's closing doors upstairs? You're supposed to be on the ground floor.
So again, TUD are going for this top floor approach. They're just making it. Obviously, they probably spotted out. They probably know where the bomb site is. Of course, they're build enough team to know they're not actually on the top. They're just playing players up on the top floor, making it look like holding the top floor. They have to clear it before they can move down, because if they decide, okay, we're just going to push into the bottom floor, they have to be open. So TUD opting to, you know, have presence on the top floor just slows WIT down so much, because they can bait them. They can just say, okay, we're going to be on the top floor for the first 10 seconds, wait for them to push in, and the moment they push in, let's fall back to the bomb site. That means WIT have to spend so much time clearing, looking for players that aren't actually there, wasting 30 seconds at the clock, and TUD just have to sit on the bomb site and wait for them to walk into them.
Changing max.
Yeah, they're wasting 30 now. The players are long gone, and WIT are still a little bit terrified. Those drones are gonna have to hurry up and confirm that no one's there, because, as you say, this is a trick. This is a play. WIT are falling hook, line, and sinker for this very, very basic trick.
You look at this, Gabe and Trap are actually on the second floor. They've fallen back to the second floor, which means not only have they wasted a bunch of time on the top floor, but now they're gonna have to find Trap and Gabe on the second floor before they can actually push down. There's only a minute left on the clock, so if they can't manage to find these players out here, as long as Trap and Gabe just make noise and make them scared, there's gonna be a big waste of time. And Trap's got to find one onto Ninja, so Trap's job is pretty much already done. They've slowed them down. they've made them know that there's players on the second floor. You can't push to the bottom floor without killing us. And as long as Trap stays alive and Gabe stays alive, it's going to be very difficult for WIT to push here. But Trap is finally going to fall. Gives WIT a little bit of a sigh of relief as 35 seconds left on the clock. They have to push in now. They don't really have a choice. Explosm above them again. Gabe is finally going to fall, so they now know no players are left above them. They just need to clear out. But the Meister camp is going to start shocking Fallen Leaf as he heads towards Bakery.
15 seconds
These
left.
delay strats are doing amazing work. We're at 15 seconds, and none of WIT have even barely even looked at the site. Caps Lock or Badger even will find Fallen Leaf, putting player advantages into the defender's favor. Badger being able to just grab those two players in the corridor, and as I say, barely a foot set on the objective, and TUD have walked away with a victory.
We're now at match point. Favor. TUD there playing that round pretty much perfectly. Very little that went wrong from them there. Slowed them down on the top floor. Fell back. Let WIT waste 30 seconds of their time. 35 to 45. And then Trap and Gabe didn't go, okay, let's fall back to bomb site. They said, let's take second floor. Let's slow them down even more. Let's make them have crawl down to the site. And of course, Trap finds that one kill. Instantly, the team goes, damn, they're on the second floor. We have to slow our pace down again. We can't just run on because Gabe, Trap are just going to walk down behind us and wipe us. So they have to spend time clearing the second floor.
And much more than that. You may think, if you're thinking traditional deathmatch strats, we have a player. They had Trap was taken down. They did bring the player advantage back to 0. But Siege is a very defensive game, and when you can sit in a corner and say that you're gonna have to come through me, my Legion mines, my Kapkan mines, my motion detectors, and all of that stuff, defenders don't really need to worry about player equalities. They need to start worrying when the player advantage goes towards the attacking side. So Trap getting a kill and dying delays time, takes so much utility away from the attackers. Depending on the attacker, could ruin entire attacks. Say Caps Lock gets picked early on in the round and there's no thermite anymore. The defenders don't mind if Trap then gets refragged and the attacking team still have to slowly and laboriously make their way through the site because the job has been done.
Gabe back up also just gives him a look. And but we're gonna have to see how they decide to go for Gabe is of course playing down towards the bottom side of the site, but if you notice now, a bit of a change in terms of attacking sides. We're finally seeing a player from the team decide to go from the bottom up instead of the top down. Of course, with the bomb site being at the top, they know Gabe and possibly Trap are roaming. They need to just clear out from the bottom up because they need to spot out any players, possibly walk up behind them, and they have started what? Yeah, Gabe has now actually decided to opt back to the top floor. I don't know whether he heard anyone below him or just decided, you know what, I don't need to be roaming here. It's safer for the bomb site. Breach charges come out. We're gonna see the Habana come out. But oh, you hate to see it. Rhythm just left too big of a gap between his Habana charges, and that is gonna leave a tiny little bar between them, which is always in the way. But each please fix.
That fairly traditional setup from the Apes. Funnel players into piano, let them stir in there, and let them waste all of their utility doing pointless stuff in there as they can't even get up to the side. Explosive is slowly clearing the lower floors, and really this had to have been done earlier in the game. It shouldn't be match point before WIT finally decided to take the roamer seriously. And as you said, whether Wild Gabe heard it or not, as soon as Explosive came near the front door, he fell back upstairs. I have a feeling that was intentional. They knew that that was intel playing off the previous rounds where they weren't, but where they didn't play the roamer game. And now that they have now they have Gabe, it's just thought, well, I'm not dying here. We need everyone for sight. Well placed. Magnet's grabbing every flashbang Explosive wants to throw, ruining his chances to attack. And the first kill will go in the favor of the defenders as Badger has managed to kill Ninja with a shotgun. Cheeky plant. Doesn't stick it, but he was very close to doing it. The trade goes well. A bit of damage into trap and not much onto himself, although that is a plant delayed, if not denied.
He smokes him out. This is a very, very big explosive round from the WIT side, but the timer is still very low. Bomb, it has to go down now. Fallen Leaf has to stick it. Timer is at 0. And he's the last player from WIT standing, which means the final round will go to TUD. That round was looking so good from WIT just until, you know, everything started kicking off. Explosions and smokes left and right, but it did come out with TUD on top. That will be map 1 going to the side of TUD. Final scores 7-3 on Cafe.
Yeah, TUD, a team that prefers defending on Cafe much more than attacking, if that round is to be believed. And I'm curious to see whether that same mentality will carry over to our second map, Oregon.
We'll be taking a quick 5-minute break so that our players can have a few minutes to rest and strategize before their next game. So we will be throwing to a quick break, and when we come back, we will our second map on back in about 5 minutes. Hello and welcome back to our matchup between WIT UD Apes in Rainbow Six Siege, of course. UD taking map 1 on Cafe 7-3 final scoreline, but we will be moving on to map number 2 on Oregon with, I believe it was WIT's map pick and TUD's turn to pick sides, and TUD have decided to start on defense, so we will be getting into map 2 right now.
Now, if TUD's performance from map 1 are any indication, they were going to be seeing an awful lot of defense wins out of them on this map, but we're ready to be seen.
Now, will we see the Thatcher ban is the question. Of course, Thatcher got unchecked last time, and he definitely played a big part in TUD's comeback on the first half. They started off with 2 rounds down, brought back 3 rounds, and then, of course, WA out the final round to make it half. But Thatcher was a big player of the TUD's 3 rounds that they actually won. But will it get banned?
I mean, he was picked in basically every attack round. You know, there's a reason he gets banned. It remains to be seen. Blackbeard going out first, telling me that someone doesn't like not headshotting fools to death, and Monty getting banned on WIT side. Yeah, that's par for the course. I mean, it's between, honestly, if I had to guess what bans would come up, I would kind of just say the shield operators, Thatcher, and another defender.
Kaner being Montagna main, that ban has to come out against TUD. The Kaner's on that. Yeah, and as we see in the chat, leave the poor guy alone. He never gets to play any of the shields. Kaner just gets his favorite ops band out. You know, he's put so much time into that Monty, but never gets to play it. So maybe next time, Kaner. Maybe next.
Play Blitz 5-head. Poor Blitz never gets the love he used to get when he was completely broken and overpowered.
Yeah, but as we into the first pick and ban phase here, we will see that they have decided to go Kid Storms and Main Hall, and we will Goyo Jaeger, Vigil, Bandit, and Smoke defensive side. We're gonna see Sophia Ash out picks. I see the Vigil hasn't been locked in, but there we go. Trap changing off of that Vigil once again to go to Smoke. That Vigil bait. I think WOT must know by now that Vigil is just bait.
In fairness, Trap picked Smoke, panicked, I presume panicked, and then at the very last second switched to Pulse so that he could 6-pick back onto Smoke. I think that was just a big brain play that was so big it outbigged his brain.
We'll be seeing Kid Storm first of all. We're going to see Blue Cheese just walking off that hallway into the tower here with no rotation, so just to stop them completely. And he's going to electrify it as well. Just no one's coming in through tower, basically.
Yeah. The biggest thing that tells me is just that they're not gonna play tower, which on a site like this, yeah, I kind of get it. Getting attacked through tower is a bit too much of a risk. When they start playing into the basement or even in kitchen, if they are so lucky to need a third site, then we may see a little bit more tower play. And naturally, as I start saying someone goes against it. I think in the last second there, I just saw Badger running into the tower on the Vigil.
Yeah, we can see him just there at the base of the tower, over to where Ninja is.
My mouth, they're being cheeky.
But he's not opting to sit up the top of the tower like a normal Vigil would. He's actually sitting at the base of it, just waiting to see if anyone will walk in to clear tower. But they've decided against it. So Badger is going to be a little bit left alone. He's actually rotating back to front door through basements. He's still going to be, an annoyance for the side of WIT, just all over the place. One minute they hear him in tower, the next minute he's at the door. So unless he's taken down, they're going to have to worry about someone constantly possibly walking up behind them. But we're going to see Ace start opening up the walls.
Accompanying Thatcher EMP, expect about as much. Here we go. Much more explosive rounds than we had on Cafe. No kills just yet, but a good bit of map control gained by the Vikings.
Now, the one thing you will notice with those Ace water breaches, he actually opted to throw them halfway up the wall rather than to the very top so that they can roll down and destroy a lot more of the wall. Oh, but he will get spotted out and taken down by Badger, who actually rotated through basement and up the stairs and then into there, just watching the top of the stairs. But he is actually just sitting behind the players who push in from balcony, so they do need to be wary of him. They know he's there now, so they just need to maybe try to find the kill onto him. But TUD playing very passively. We've seen, I'm not sure who it is there behind the door, but we are actually going to see a kill onto the Ash on the stairs by Trap with that SMG. Sorry, it's Gabe. It's Gabe actually that's sitting, just watching that door frame. He's been sitting there this entire time, so he's just playing very patiently. Trap is going to find another one onto Ninja. And
I heard that Trap.
Yeah, it's all on caps lock.
That wasn't even a spray. That was a quick brrr, and another kill for Trap. I think it's just Trap and Gabe who have managed to pick off the WIT team here, and as Caps Lock now finds, the defenders don't have to do much, and Gabe has been taking a seat there for most of the round thus far. He doesn't really have to move anywhere, really.
And there we go. A first kill's gonna, or a first down is gonna come out
10 seconds
onto
to go.
Kaner, but gunfights are gonna go Caps Lock's way. The timer is very low. He either has to go for the plant here or just lose the round, and gonna have to stick to defuse. They know he's defusing. They know where he is, so gonna have to let go, and that's gonna. It's gonna save this. It's gonna save his scoreboard a little bit, but it's not gonna save him the round.
Katie don't mean much when you're not winning rounds, unfortunately.
That is in fact true, but we will, as we move into the. I don't have actually lost a defense round this entire series. Are they won for? I think they've won every round on defense in this series, so we're gonna have to see whether WOT can actually find an answer for it, because currently they've been struggling to.
That's what I was saying. I expect most of their wins from this map to come out on this half, which only leaves the question of how are they going to close. To me, it only leaves the question how are they going to close it out on their attack half. So hopefully WOT can bring in some good defense strats on their map pick of all things. But until then, they gotta deal with this these monumentous defenses that TUD keep bringing out time and time again. The basement in particular is a scary sight to attack against a player like Badger when he's on Vigil. Although switching to Bandit tells me that he might be thinking of a more defensive play here. So instead, I think it might just be Trap on the Jaeger. He's going to be playing tower and putting a bit and harassing WOT as they try to gain any map control above.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Electrify those hatches just to stop TUD or WOT from pushing them, but they do actually have a Thatcher, so those electrifications aren't gonna do too much. But they actually they've actually gone for 2 ADS stops and 2 electrification operators, and then a smoke to block off doorways. So this is a very, very defensive setup comp from TUD.
Speaking of comps, this 3-man attack from WIT could go very badly very quickly if they're not able to win these early gunfights. Look at all these angles that TUD have opened up right into the corridor. And between ADSs and Wamai magnets, there's going to be trouble getting any utility through, and it shows right there with Trap finding the first kill on the Caps Lock. Still, magnets stopping all of these flashbangs and anything that they can throw that way, and Wildgate is still watching that from the corner. Just finally able to destroy the shield, but that'll be all of Zophia's grenade launcher ordnance. And sure, Trap is just sitting here in the corner. He's waiting for someone to get into his view because he wants to pop them with that assault rifle.
One thing TUD definitely have is a lot of patience. Of course, we saw Gabe last round just sitting watching a door frame for 40 to 50 seconds, just didn't move. Just decided to watch it. If a player comes here, I got him.
Finally making contact with TUD. I believe that's Canner. TUD team captain trying to hold this staircase with this slightly diminutive assault rifle, but it's definitely strong enough to do the job.
Magnet online.
Yeah, and there we go. Gabe, as he sits there, he's only generating more magnets, as will I. So WIT, with the time running down and gadgets like Wamai's gadget ticking up over time, they're gonna have to actually find some kills, and Ninja's gonna find the first opening onto Trap.
And not only that, the moment the Trap kill goes down, he just decides, nope, finger on W, we're going in, boys. We don't have time to sit here. I'm gonna have to find a bunch of kills. He runs in, he gets 4.
Go.
That opening kill on the Trap just left the entire backside of the of the TUD side open, which means Ninja can walk in and get an ace.
There you go, Ninja. That's what you need to do.
This is a different change. This is a very big change of pace in the WIT side. They find first kill onto Trap, basically just walks right in because TUD are like, oh, that corner's watch. Trap has that. We don't need to worry about it. Trap goes down, and Ninja wastes no time walking right into the backside of WIT, takes down 4, leaves it in a 3v1, and then just manages to pick up the last kill as the diffuser gets planted. Very, very big round there coming out of Ninja.
That's going to sit him right on top of that scoreboard. Nice and happy with 5 kills. And even up the scoreline, 1-1. That's TUD's first defense loss in this series, and hopefully the first of many, says Ninja.
Yeah, if I was WIT, I'd be definitely aiming for that 3 or 4 rounds before the switch over. You know, it's a very good position to be in. You don't want to be down 2 rounds as the round switch over. Defense, of course, is the preferred side in Siege, but you don't want to be walking into defense with only 2 rounds, especially against the side as strong as TUD.
Exactly. Having lost the basement, I'm surprised they haven't gone back. Instead, we switched over to the kitchen, which you actually haven't seen much of at all, even in the few Oregon games we've
10
had.
seconds to go.
Oregon not being the most popular map we played at all, really, in
5
comparison to
seconds
something
to
like
insertion.
Cafe and Clubhouse. So I'm curious as to whether or not TUD just have a set plan. They're like, win or lose, we're going to keep cycling through these objectives. And they have defense strats to go with it, but see if WIT can crack it as well. Maybe they were just afraid that WIT would get a little bit too comfortable with how they beat them, how they won the last round, and didn't want to give them any kind of chance to learn from any potential mistakes. Pushing things up. Yeah. Rip this back door. I have many a fond memory of trying to stop people getting through that back door in the kitchen.
The
Much
change
stronger side than it used to
to
be.
this map, of course, making it way harder to push into that kitchen without that door. To actually come this area and then down through the hallway kitchen, but that mirror window is going to be there to just slow them down and make sure that they can't push. Trap is actually the one holding that mirror window. Will get droned out. Oh, and he just doesn't spot one player running across, but
Bomb has been located.
there we
We
go.
saw them get behind them with the vending machine.
Changing mags.
I believe that was Ninja. If there was a rematch to be had, Trump would be very happy to find this acing player. But Ninja knows much better than to just blind peek something like that, especially from the position he's in. He's at a massive disadvantage.
Mirror window is going to go down. That mirror window being in that position does give them some inkling of where Trap might be. But, oh, and another, once again, Ninja finds a player who has their head turned to him. Will he find another? The second mirror window spot will mean that they've spotted him out. Oh, and a very quick peek there from Gabe will take down Ninja, finally putting an end to his kill streak. And you'll find a second flick onto Explosum as well.
Good kill onto Explosum. All the advantages in his favor, and Gabe just deletes him from the game, says, no, I'm not dealing with you. Oh, that's not good. That's the second mirror window down.
Those mirror windows definitely giving the TUD side a lot of value in this round. Gabe has opted to fall back as the side of WT have started to fall in on the bomb sites. They still haven't got control of any of them just yet, but they are making progress towards them. They're going to hear a Thatcher nade go out there. There is a Maestro Cam left and one EMP, but they're not wasting the EMP on the Maestro Cam. Gonna wait. They're gonna wait to see if he opens it, and I think the info is a bit too much.
Fallen Leaf in particular is looking at that Maestro Cam very unsteadily, given he's probably only on about 15 HP, and every zap will do about 5 damage.
Now it's gonna fall though as he opens it to stop the diffuser going down, but the diffuser is gonna fall, but Gabe is gonna find an ace in return to Ninja's ace.
Oh, there was an ace. Huh. I was thinking for a minute. No, someone else got trapped, didn't they? And that's the wrong team. Well, Gabe, just walking around the battlefield, taking down everybody.
And yeah, that's that. We did ask how TUD are gonna, combat that first ace, and they're gonna say, "Yep, you got an ace. Well, we're gonna get one too."
Oh, it's an ace-heavy week, everybody. If you've been with us for Counter-Strike earlier, you know I'm coming off of a series with about 4 aces. So let's just keep this going.
Both teams bringing, just showing that, their players are capable of taking down entire, very skilled, all on their own. We're gonna have to see whether we get any more aces in this game, but I think they may be the only get.
Oh, don't say that with players like these, you never know.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a ice highlights of the week kind of day today, but
Back upstairs to the bedroom, the usual starting spot for most teams, and I expect not much difference in the setup. We've switched back to the same characters as well. Badger's even on Vigil once again. The only thing to ask this time is, will WIT learn from last time and adapt and probably find Badger before they really commit to any site executes?
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Okay, here we go.
Now Caps Lock, of course, back on the Thatcher. Rhythm on the Habana. They're going for this double breach setup once again. The Thatcher on Follow Leaf is probably going to be always a thing. It's probably never going to switch. That Thatcher's so powerful. Oh, but we're going to see Badger run out with the Vigil and actually manage to get a kill. We actually didn't manage to get it on cam because I didn't think it would, because we always think, oh, our players are above doing runouts and spawn peaks, but then you see it happen. But Ninja's gonna find a refrag onto Gabe straight away. Ninja was not taking that run out kindly. He was like, oh, you want to run out? Well, I'm gonna run in.
I mean, it showed well until we were getting worried about these angles, and of course, without the right intel, they're not going to know whether they're clear or not. But I gotta ask, at what point do you just say sod it and go for it?
But they don't know anymore where, because with Gabe falling in that room, they now actually have no idea how many players on WIT are in that angle. And look at this peek from Badger. Badger is playing so aggressively here because it's not where you're going to expect a Vigil to be. To be honest, you're just expecting him to be, roaming somewhere. You're not expecting him to be tucked into a corner against the wall you just breached. But he will decide that it's safer to move back, play with the 4v4 rather than possibly getting taken out there.
I was expecting a YouTube special run right up to the breach charge as it explodes and trying to find Caps Lock, but it is smarter play. It is safer play to just concede the area, fall back, and, as you say, play the 4v4 rather than trying to take on the world.
Badger spots out one and starts to spray down. He finds it onto Caps Lock. That's going to be 2 for him in the round.
Now, Badger, I get that there was aces previously. That doesn't mean you have to ace as well.
He is going to find shots onto Rhythm, but Fallen Leaf's going to find Trap. Ninja's going to find Blue Cheese. And it's all on Badger. If he was going to get an ace, he needed it there. But Ninja coming out with a 4K in that round.
I think Ninja's fed up of losing. I think Ninja really wants to get into these knockout brackets now in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, of course, as we said, this game is really with 5 teams being all up around the 10 and 11 point mark. Every match counts from this point on. WIT can't afford to lose here and let TUD take that 4th position from them. All of the teams this week and next week are fighting for that 4th spot, basically, because they're all so close.
Back down into the basement, and you have the characters I'd expect to see. Definitely the Jaeger and the Wamai. The usual suspects in a site like this.
We're going to see a very standard setup. Gabe is going to reinforce that wall off of backstairs. We're going to see Trap holding out towards construction, just like they did last time. Get the wall reinforced. We are going to see Trap swap back onto the Jaeger, though.
And I have a feeling a good chunk of his ADSs are going to go over there by Wild Gabe's soon-to-be placed ballistic shield. So they can't. So he's not going to get grenaded out or flashbanged or anything of the sort. And of course, Wamai starts with a handful of his projectile catching gadgets. at the start of the round, but as time ticks on, much like Legion, he gets a couple more as the game goes on, and even the upcoming nerfs to him aren't going to change too much. I mean, fairly rare that the very last disc will be used in any game which the attackers are actually doing okay on. There is one player in the tower, and they're playing from the staircase. This could be extremely dangerous if WIT don't drone him out first.
Tries to go for the run out, but he is going to get caught by Ninja once again, just waiting for it.
Yeah, they're ready for this disrespect now.
That is also the exact angle that Badger used before when he was on that when he was on Vigil. So they were waiting for it. Basically, they knew it was coming, and Ninja does get tagged up for it, but does find the kill.
For Ninja, that's not gonna scare you. Although he is a good bit of, at least, you know, implied threat to WIT remove, which is going to give them, I mean, they're a quick drone away from knowing that they have majority of the map in terms of map control, and Ninja swinging out for those grenades almost gets caught off by Trap, but luckily able to hide just in the nick of time and save himself some 5.56, and will in fact turn it around and take Trap down. And here we go, the same push again. He will fight Canner. This has to be a flashback for TUD. They are able to take Ninja down through a little gap between the bomb and some what would you call them?
Shelving.
Shelving beside it. Dang.
Blue Cheese is going to find a spot out another player from WIT, but it's now a 4v2. They're going to have to go big here. Blue Cheese finds a long-range spray with that SMG to find one. Capslock is there to refrag him straight away. It's all on Gabe here. Knows where one of the players is. He doesn't manage to kill, though. He is getting droned out right now. He doesn't have time. The bomb is going to go down. And there we go. Bomb is down, and wow.
Disrespect for disrespect, says Explosum with that drop shot.
Yeah, Explosum with that Call of Duty level drop shot, but finds the kill anyway.
When it's all to play for, a lot of the niceties start to fall away.
Oh yeah, just all of the sportsmanship rulebook just goes out the window. Spawn peaks, we see drop shots like that, but it's all for these teams to actually make it in to that playoffs.
Stick around the basement this time. TUD obviously favoring it as far as, well, favoring it in that they won it the previous round, and WIT not respecting this defensive preference as they've managed to steal 3 rounds away.
Yeah, but also 2 of those rounds that they've actually won on the attacking side have been basements, so TUD have a better idea of, okay, this is what they're going to do this time. We know how to hold it. We got this. We got this.
They lost that round, and everyone said, okay, retake this time. Badger, don't run out and get killed instantly. That we threw that round away, but now we have to play seriously.
As I said, as long as WIT get 3 to 4 rounds on this attacking side, their job is pretty much done. Their defensive side is going to be that tiny bit easier. So if you're WIT here, you're trying to figure out this last round, and then all you need is just 3 consecutive rounds on the board to seal this game and make it a tie in the series, which will mean that WIT are still a point ahead of TUD on the leaderboards. Capslock starting to move over to destruction, starts droning it out, starts spot out the players. Gabe's shield put up once again.
At this point, they're seeing the stuff and just nodding to themselves and saying, he's playing the same spot again, yeah. From Capslock's perspective, we may be seeing... Oh no, Trap is still holding by the pillar overwatching the staircase. So it'll very likely be Ninja to try to take out Trap and his shield there.
Actually, fight those. I have to rotate and meet. Start rotating over, start being that forward breach, or that forward attacker. But Badger's gonna find a kill onto Rhythm. Sorry, upstairs I believe it was. So Badger decided, oh, I'm still gonna roam It's just not where you're gonna think it is. As we see Ninja now and Co starting to clear that just to make sure that Badger isn't anywhere else behind them. They're now gonna run into Trap, who has had a little bit of bad luck holding this particular angle. He managed to kill one player in the first round of construction, but then has been taken down from stairs by Ninja 3 times. So we're gonna have to see whether Trap can manage to find this kill. He finds the first of the Fallen Leaf, but can he finally beat this demon and actually kill Ninja?
Nasty angled into dirt there. Not to underplay the importance of that kill, by the way. Fallen Leaf was the Thatcher. That's a lot of important utility removed, and unfortunately Trap eventually falls to Caps Lock instead of Ninja.
But then, of course, that
Ninja's
hallway
gonna
opens
take
up to
the
Ninja.
advantage. Yeah.
Once that hallway opens up for Ninja, Ninja just seems to go, okay, I'm gonna hold W and just kill 3. This hallway has been a big death area for. He spots out one. The smoke goes out. It's gonna blind him. Smoke's gonna get that kill. All on Caps Lock now to win out this half for WIT. But it's 1v2. We've seen Caps Lock go big before he finds the wall bang onto Badger with that clean headshot. He has the diffuser. He is actually gonna go for the plant. Blue Cheese starts destroying the wall, but has to try find this out. He lets go of the diffuser, and Blue Cheese manages to find the headshot and locks in that tied half for TUD.
Blue Cheese doing very well in that passive smoke, and that's passive smoke play. Generally speaking, if you're smoke and you're going for that kind of play, you're gonna just try stay alive to the end of the round and use your smoke grenades to just stall and ruin plants, and it's exactly what he did, and able to win the final gunfight with that monstrous SMG-11. Absolutely critical play for his team, and although it's only 3-3, TUD are never a team to count out. Although WIT but very much putting a lot of this dirty play in its place.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Back to top floor once again. Be popular bomb. What is the WIT decide to do differently on picking side on this map? So WIT's at pick.
A lot of similar strats, locking off the tower and everything. The one thing I'm curious about is, will they have not an answer, but rather an equivalent to Badger? They're going to have a wild card to roam around the building and just make TUD afraid of committing.
5 seconds
That's
remaining.
usually Explosive throwing off first map.
Attackers are moving out.
Similar, or
Locate a
decides to
bomb
stick
and defuse it.
his team. Trap, of course, that role of Heartbreach once again, but we are going to see the difference in the attacking sides straight away. Only one breacher on the side of TUD, which means Trap needs to play a bit safe, because all it takes is Trap to go down, and then there's no Heartbreach left.
Exactly. Canner grabbing the Thatcher, because you're never not gonna pick Thatcher when you have the chance. Yeah. Very quick clear of the tower, and it's a very strong position to attack from. Thatcher and Thermite, there's really nothing that can be done to stop them breaching that reinforced walls. It'd be Fallen Leaf to try hold off the attack, the attack from the attic. I am adoring the amount of use of drones that we get over here at ICE. I've heard somewhere before that after a certain skill, some players get a bit too overconfident and they just stop droning, meaning so much intel that they don't go for. And it's just good to see that even at this level, players are recognize the importance of just scouting out ahead and just making sure that they know what they're getting into before they face check someone with a shotgun.
TUD are definitely one of the bigger teams for droning presence. They just seem to always just drone throughout the rounds, kind of fine. Well, it just means that their attacks go a bit, or their attacks go a bit, because they just know, okay, Fallen Leaf is in this room, Rhythm is in this room, Ninja's over here, so we can find a little gap over here if we really want to put in. But we're gonna start seeing some fights. Fallen Leaf, I think it's fighting over to this tower, which they opened up a little bit earlier on. Badger is over.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Sorry, Blue Cheese.
Badger joined everyone else over in the bedroom, and looks at the positioning of these Goyo shields. Little incendiary landmines as they are.
Look at this position from Gabe. He decides to start pushing very slowly behind them, opting not to break the barbed wire, so he does loads of just enough noise that may not be noticeable, and it does pay off. He managed to find the kill onto Fallen Leaf, who they've just thought this stairs was cleared, and you know it really isn't. Gabe walks up and manages to find one, but dies in the process. Capslock finds 3 consecutive headshots. And it's all, you know, 1v2 with 10 seconds left. The diffuser is down. Across the hallway, Rhythm gets an easy kill on the blue.
Very adaptive defense there from TUD. Or from WIT even.
TUD had a lot going for them in that round. They were pushing from so many different angles, but when it came to actually taking the bomb site, they were 3 players pushing solo, all one by one, getting picked up by 3 consecutive headshots, and it's just not what you need when you're trying to push onto the bomb site. Just one player being left unchecked and manages to find 3.
Exactly. Off to the basement now. Expasm's going to grab Jaeger, and yeah, we have again the Jaeger Romai setup is going to probably lock down a similar position to, I believe,
attackers need to locate and defuse
playing
bombs.
the last half. It's a strong position, whether you like to attack it or not. Being able to just create a lovely little crossfire between the pillar and the back corridor there. And Jaeger and Lomai are just the dynamic duo ever since Lomai was announced.
I don't see whether Explosum decides. Present sword. Yeah, on the bomb. Again. Is a player from W. Fallen Leaf.
10 seconds left.
Explosum's actually gonna fall back toward.
5 seconds left.
We're not gonna see any big roaming presence out of WIT.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Where is Capslock throwing that last oil? On site, yeah. Decent enough if you're feeling the need to fall back, though. Something to keep an eye on if someone does manage to push through tower staircase.
Of course, they have a Gabe. They do have a Gabe who is on Ash, so don't really want those Goyo shields anywhere near where your teammates might be. If they spot out where those Goyo shields are, Ash could make this a very, very fiery round for WIT.
Yeah, as soon as he spots the back of that shield, I think he's come up with a plan.
There's from. That happens, spotted out. Yep, and there it is. Straight away, blows up that shield because he knows it's going to set it on fire and clear out that angle. But the WIT side have actually opted to sit back. They don't need to be sitting right beside the shields. They know how dangerous that is, and look at that. Capslock gets an inkling of the TUD side attacking that site, falls back through the wall, and instantly reinforces it just to stop that attack so that they have to use charges to bring it. Looking through the drone hole to see if he can see someone's spot. He doesn't manage to see it.
If he had been in this position a few seconds earlier, he may have been able to catch the bare pixels of, I believe that was Trap's feet as he was planting that ectothermic charge. But yeah, a much more fallback happy defense coming from WIT, and Badger. That's 3 kills now. Fallen will take him down, but that's a very double player advantage in favor of TUD. Just Fallen and Explosive left to hold off against this attack.
And you're now going to get the diffuser planted as Trap finds another one onto Fallen Leaf. It's all on an Explosive, who manages to pick up one onto Trap to start it off.
That air jab is going to cause problems if he happens to run into it.
Get on the wall just to his left, but hasn't opted to shoot it yet. Has he spotted it out? I don't think he has. He's too busy focusing on where the players are. There's too many angles to watch. He's got to run right past Cheese, who's chilling right here.
Yeah, look at that player spread. One on tower staircase, Blue Cheese on site, and Trap out watching Dirt, the back entrance, just in case something really spectacular was going on. Absolutely no way that Explosive could really force 1v1 fights just everywhere. The minute he was spotted, there was going to be at least 2 players to pop out and try and take him down. Absolutely textbook post-plan play.
We're now into a 4v4 scoreline. WOT, of course, needing to draw out this game for them to still continue ahead as we playoffs for 2 weeks away. So basically this week and next week are going to decide who top 4 in this playoffs are to be.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yep, back in the basement, WIT have decided that this is going to work.
WOT might have decided, okay, we know what we did wrong, we know what fell apart, we have a plan, we know what we're doing.
And for the sake of the playoffs in a few weeks' time, I really hope they do.
Definitely, yeah, this is definitely the time to be,
10 seconds left.
Trying to seal out these rounds, but also trying to figure out your opponents. You never know if you're going to go against again in the playoffs. You might go up against them in the finals, and you might be playing on Oregon. So even if this game is a loss, you want to start taking note of this is what they do. This is what they like to do. This is what their tendencies are. Because in a few weeks' time, you might need to face them again.
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Who is not on site at the moment?
I believe
Blossom again, is it? No, Explosum's on site. Oh, that's it. Caps Lock is hiding in the corner. It's a bit of a dangerous spot to play as soon as someone starts pushing staircase, but I guess in fairness, he does have the cover there.
Device planted.
And Trap, I believe. Gabe are starting to push down through that staircase again. Flashbang's gonna come out, but the Wallmaya is gonna pick it up.
Smoke grenade onto Canner. That's unfortunate positioning, and that's the Thermite down, or the Thatcher down. Even that's a very, very big pick. On Wildgate is gonna answer by taking Fallen down. If he was sitting in that position in the back, that's a very dangerous backdoor to leave open to the site. Ninja finding one with the shotgun. You love to see it. Even if Trap does immediately find him and take him down afterwards. And yeah, look at that. You can see it. You can see it in the back of Caps Lock, the softwall left behind. The fact that TUD have control of that actually means that they've more or less negated the need for Thatcher. They already have a backdoor into the site.
Just showing what TUD do a lot. They're just showing where they're sitting. Real all is that the wall behind Caps Lock is soft and just start spraying through it. They like plotted him out. They know where he's sitting. So there we go. Gabe gonna open up that wall that Caps Lock has been used to cover himself and giving him very little mind. Gabe is actually quite low from the trades with Caps Lock. Gonna have to find shots once they win this fight, but I think it's paid in as well. See him through the gun holes or the bullet holes in the wall, and Blue Cheese is gonna find the headshot onto Caps Lock.
Very unfortunate that Blue Cheese was watching and had the optic for that. Rhythm will get the trade back out from Wild Gabe, and actually looking at the position he's in, Rhythm's a very important linchpin here. He's able to see both this entrance and the backdoor TUD would have wanted to open in any situation. And as we are approaching the last 15 seconds of the round, he's going to be very important for trying to defend against this planned. Explosive will find the first onto Trap and will be able to find Blue Cheese, who doing his best to pre-fire these positions.
Look at this drop shot.
Cannot find him.
If you see,
Oh.
like, expose him drop shots, but also drop shots into a dead body, which makes him very difficult to see and spot out there. He turns the corner, thinks, oh, this player has to be here, and just doesn't see him. He gets shot from the floor. Brown's gonna go. Match point.
So one round away from a draw. Well, not a draw, but perhaps overtime. As we move up to the kids' dorms, not gonna have that lovely, easy to defend. I say easy to defend, but handy to defend basement. I'm gonna have to start playing the entire map now in order to secure secure the win of the map and bring the
Attackers
series
need
to
to
a draw.
locate and defuse bombs.
As you'd expect, I'll let sealing up the tower area, as well as many of the usual suspects as far as flank positions and dangerous routes go.
Seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds to go.
Keeps opening these windows. Someone's gonna have to explain to me what they're doing when they keep opening these windows. There's not one window in particular.
Trap actually opting swap their picture rather than a bomb. Thermite for the first time, I believe. On with Ace or other Habana, and maybe they just felt like Thermite and Habana weren't working, and that this better. Trap has just started opening fire on thing. They're
Throwing stun grenade.
started to push in here. Gun.
For any of you who were curious as to why we pointed out earlier that Ash losing her flashbangs was a big deal and you're not aware, this is why. Gabe was able to clear that entire room of my magnets by herself just because she has the 3 flashbangs,
Drones up and running.
and then is able to use her normal gadget to blow up that shield, which if WIT wanted to contest that balcony position, that bulletproof shield is kind of the only thing stopping them getting immediately taken down by GUD. It's hard to think the optimal play against TUD might be something like a well-placed Mozzie Mew combination.
Ground timer has been taken down, so Wamai is going to get even more of his gadgets, just throwing them out on. Try to clear any utility that may come in. Ninja is going to heal that Thatcher nade come out. Coming towards him, but
He's in a
no kills just yet. Basically a minute and a half into the round and not a single kill. Very slow pace round from TUD here.
This is tightening.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Fallen finding the first on Blue Cheese. That's very, very big. Ninja finding a second on the Badger, and here we go. WIT already turning this round against TUD. They have a lot of map control, but that doesn't mean they're going to win these gunfights. Ballgame was able to find one. Canner just escaping that window with his life.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Oh, the brakes are on. Ninja finding another onto Trap, and that's the diffuser locked away in the wardrobe there. It's gonna turn into a bit of a team deathmatch for TUD, and they're not winning these gunfights. It's a 2v4. And if they drop these kills, which they do, Caps Locks and Fallen taking down Canner and Wellgabe is gonna give WIT one more round, and consequently the map.
Now sitting in a match point situation. So UD have to win 2 rounds consecutive. One match. If I was TUD, I'd be coming up with some strategy that, you know, they have never seen.
Switching into kitchen and dining hall now as well. Hopefully the sudden switch in sites. I don't think WOT have actually played on this site in this map, so you know, fingers crossed they're ready for the switch up. But failing that, I'm fairly certain that they'll have a much more comfortable site. I think they basement may come off cooldown come the next round. And yeah, Ninja playing castle. This is looking like they're gonna try and
Attackers
do
need
something
locate
similar
and
to
defuse bombs.
the previous map in Piano Room. Looks like Ninja, in combination with everyone else, may try to set up a bit of a fish in the barrel situation. Let TUD have some small amount of map control, and then just plank away at them from there. Although maybe not. I'm curious what Ninja and Explosion are doing now.
Actually opting to barricade the above them, just to slow TUD down if they do actually opt to go down. Just that they come in balcony, that they have
5
to
seconds to insertion.
basically go back downstairs, barricade, and use
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
their castle barricade going down on the window just outside of the bomb site.
They're deploying these cavalcades much more in an anti-flank, anti-vertical play setup, which you might not have to worry too much about, as you just saw TUD have their players arrayed outside the side entrance.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I believe that's Badger upstairs to hold. Gosh, wasn't this Mini or something? Or am I mixing this up with Counter-Strike?
I'm not actually too sure what it's called, but they are just gonna up the breach right above the bomb site. Spot out a player sitting in the corner, but nothing there for T.
There we go. The vertical play coming in. This is why you don't hug that wall without some adequate protection.
Draft now has actually pushed in, sitting on the outer wall toward charge it down the Thatcher nade as well to follow it up.
Yeah, and that
Bandit's actually sitting upstairs to see as to rotate. We have Capstock watching the hallway through a shield. Spot out one of the Jaeger's guesses.
I think this is just down to waiting for a plan situation here. Technically, they would have a fairly easy plan if they were to just take cover behind some of the couches and stuff, but I think this is what the Vikings are waiting for. Caps Lock taken down by Badger. That's the first nail in the coffin of their lead. Badger will find a second onto Fallen Leaf. That's going to let the plant go down nice and safely.
Gabe's going to find a third
Attackers
under
are activating
Explosive
the diffuser.
versus 5 situation. Have all of it to do. Castle's shotgun. And he is going to get taken down. I don't just yet, and there we go. Get taken. Badger getting 3 down. Gabe finding him. So yeah, that's going to be a 6-5 scoreline now. All TUD need is one more round to bring it to time. Round the match is over and still ahead as we go into the final week.
That was an unfortunate use of a defender shield against a defender. The little bulletproof windows that added to the shields, put to very good use by Gabe. But yes, as I said previously, we're back into the basement, and WIT. I have a feeling they're much more comfortable on this side in
Attackers need to
comparison
locate
to
and defuse
Kitchen.
as many bombs as they can.
And that early buffer giving them the chance to drop around and still stay in match point. The usual setup. Ninja's gonna be prepping for probably Fallen Leaf to take the usual my corner.
10 seconds to insertion.
Most players have moved upstairs. Probably just getting
5
the
seconds
roof
left
hatches,
before insertion.
having a quick look around.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Painter. Start working over towards that dirt entrance. Yep, quickly take down the barrier so they can sight. are gonna go in. Of course, the big part of TUD's play spot out of WAP. So they have to get that before putting in.
Yeah, you can see through the pings. They're expecting the usual stuff. They're just trying to add up in their head how many throwables they have to use so that they can try and nullify this with my mind. But Wamai isn't playing the position Ninja is, and that smoke grenade is going to do much more damage than any Wamai ever could.
Throwing flashbang.
Slowing his attack way down. Although I will say burning them quite early.
Badger now opting to pop in. Now he's gonna put a grenade onto that shield, and shield on Ninja is gonna have to fall down. So once again, shield goes down, falls back through the wall, reinforced, gives it. Which means that TUD have to waste even all the stuff. Big thing there is for not to go down. It needs him to fall back and actually, reinforce that wall. But Trap is gonna open up now. Anyway, Thatcher Nade is out. There we go. You see the players on the side of WIT avoiding that, but Ball Leaf is going to get taken down in the main hallway. Trap is going to find another onto Caps Lock. Back to this 3v5 that we saw in the pre.
If they want to win this, they're going to have to start winning these aim duels. They can't keep losing these core positions like the corridor, like Dirt. They need to actually hold out and win. It's a tall order against TUD, but they've been doing it thus far, so they're gonna need to keep it going. Ninja will find the first redeeming kill onto Canner. No more Thatcher nades, although unfortunately Thatcher's utility has more or less has already been used to the maximum so far. Although this map control is gonna let Trap get a plant down nice and easy. Gabe Badger's gonna take down Explosive. Blue Cheese onto Rhythm and get a second onto Ninja. Another round for the TUD Apes, putting us into 6-6.
As we now have to move into time.
Oh, hell, it's overtime week as well.
This just shows you the caliber of players that are fighting for top 4 position. Of course, WIT didn't have a great game. Game one that couldn't win out the rounds because attack being so strong. But now we move second match where we end up in a 6-6 overtime. TUD basically are fighting push WIT down down the leaderboard just so they can secure a spot into playoffs. But WIT are not going lightly. They're making sure that that TUD have to work. Looking at the scores, not in the game even, but even of the tournament. The fact that TUD have 3 wins, 1 draw, putting them on 10. Of course, an outright win, meaning you win 2 maps, is worth 3 points. A draw worth 1 each. TUD are at the moment poised to gain 3 points and put themselves ahead, a good bit ahead of WIT. Throw them up to 13 versus WIT's 11, and give them put them in a very, very nice position in order to avoid being in order to avoid losing at this group stage. And so, as you say, this is this is a very important game for WIT to win, and they're not going down lightly.
Drones ready.
Gabe just taking down the default cameras outside to make more reconnaissance can't not.
Drone activated.
Caps Lock. Watching this.
Throwing magnet.
Lights out.
Magnet activated.
Olive is actually looking out onto the court here just outside a tower. Hasn't spotted anyone out yet. Our player's starting to push through.
Absolute heap of map control from TUD. They have players downstairs as well as up, just trying to flush out the usual defenses of WIT.
Tossing EMP grenade.
Leaf in particular defending the attic area. A bad headshot his direction could spell faster.
Ninja having to opt to jump behind the couch to actually stay cover as those ace mine ace water breaches start to go out.
Won't be
He
long.
is gonna get
Trap
spotted out by
spots him.
Trap though. Yeah. Gonna get spotted out by Trap as the second water breach goes off. Spots out one but goes down. Not only that, but he has the diffuser on him as well. Fallen Leaf pops the Goyo shield in actually his own favor and then reinforces the wall behind him. Fall back. That's a strategy that IT do a lot, and it's a very effective one. Badger finds a refrag onto Nico to bring it back to a full.
Bomb located by attackers.
Time wears on and the map gets smaller for WAT. These Gundamites are going to start going their way and they're not. Explosive falling back right into the barrel of Wild Gabe. And enough space for them to plant the diffuser.
Attackers are activating the
The
bomb.
sound of a C4, but Wild Gabe will put a very quick end to that and just caps lock and rhythm to try and get this diffuser destroyed. Wild Gabe will find the first caps lock, finding his first his first retake kill. Against these three players, they could be anywhere. And the double peak from Blue Cheese.
The
First
crossfire
overtime
set
to
up
TD.
there. Yeah, the crossfire set up there, just impossible to take down two players at the same time. And hey, taking this map. Of course, I don't believe Infinite Time actually begins till the playoffs. We'll have to see whether this map. Oh,
Trap, did you just do it? I think you did again. No, you've locked in. You've locked in smoke. Okay, all right. For a minute there, I thought, oh, I see the site changed. Originally, it looked like the plan was to go to kitchen and Trap grabbed Mira. I was expecting a repeat of that amazing
Attackers
double
need to
Mira
locate
straight
and
up,
defuse as
double
many
Mira
bombs
setup.
as they can.
But it looks like last minute change. We're going back up to the kids' room, and for that, the layers like smoke and Goyo are going to be needed.
we're actually gonna see a Jaeger, or sorry, not a Jaeger, a Vigil, or not Vigil, Jackal come out on the side of caps like. But we're gonna see a Jaeger. I can't speak tonight. This double
Caps
overtime
lock,
is.
caps lock.
Yeah, caps
It's
lock.
a long game. It's a long game.
I'm reloading.
Yes. Jackal out from
10
caps
seconds
lock.
remaining.
Probably going to be looking for one particular TUD player
5
who we
seconds
can
to
already
insertion.
see in the middle of the screen as we're running around causing problems. I
Attackers
expect
must
if
locate and defuse
Caps
the
Lock is
bomb.
able to help and find Badger and even Gabe, then he'll be going down a happy player. And I think Badger may have just punched out the window in that armory. So it's a very scary position. Debates on where, on where the rotation holes should be set up and what hatches need to be gone.
Bomb located.
Poor Trap is just the workhorse of the team, apparently. Him and that shotgun having to remodel the entire map.
Pretty much. He is gonna waste one of those smoke. Trying to make sure that those stairs are cleared. He's did drone come up with, so players are probably. Ninja's gonna find an early kill onto Gabe. He's actually already
Ninja.
on the A bomb, or he's already on the A bomb site.
Yeah, he snuck in the window while no one was looking. He's managed to find one. He's gonna find another onto Canner. Oh no, TUD, you can't lose it like this.
He's gonna come out though. He knows where Trap is on the smoke now, but he can't find the shot. He gets taken down low, and Trap is gonna find the refrag onto him. Now we're back to it. Badger and Cheese bit of a bit of the work as well.
In a close range game of headshots like that, sometimes the shotgun wins. Rhythm
Find the
will
kill
find
onto Trap though. Means it's back to a 3v2. There is on Explosum. They need to get him across this hallway and into the bomb site though. Capsic's gonna find one onto Badger.
Richie's can no doubt hear this plant. He's on the other side of the wall. He knows where it is. He's just gonna have to get through 3 WIT players who are relatively full health, relatively well stocked in utility, and look at these flashbangs. He's not even able to see Caps Lock as he slow peeks them around the breach. And brings us to 1-1 in this overtime. 7-7.
Now, as we move final round of this matchup, actually go back on the defensive side.
Is Fallen Leaf psychic? Does he know I said he should be playing Mozzie against TUD? Trap going to 6-pick onto Ace. Yeah, clearly preferring a more mobile strat. And as this attack is going into the kids dorm, yeah, very much expect kind of preference for this style of run and
Defenders,
gun
protect
strategies.
your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Shields going out. Pick up the magnet as you're lucky.
Yeah, the usual setups coming out here. Good to see a bit of change on the WIT side. Capsulock's bringing Rook is gonna hopefully give his team the survivability they're gonna need to survive to win these gunfights, even if they can't, as long as they don't get insta
10 seconds
headshotted
left before
or
insertion.
very interesting plays end up being made. Although Ninja can
5
mostly be
seconds
thanked
left
for
before
plays like
insertion.
that, as he in the last round dashing through that window when no one saw.
Attackers must locate and defuse
That
the
kind of thing
bomb.
can't go. You managed to win the round. Back to us at 7 minutes.
Camera activated.
Can't style all the time, Gabe. There you go. Second try. They're clearing the utility. I believe that that impact grenade launcher went down, meaning that shield is as good as destroyed.
Reaching with Selma.
Counting new map!
Always a lot of intel, and no doubt very soon to be an awful lot of map control for the attackers, but that doesn't really mean much considering WIT very rarely actually taking playing the map nearly as much as other teams might.
Tossing EMP grenade. Reaching sequence activated.
Man, Ninja trying to get into a very aggressive position by the closet there.
A bomb has been located.
That was first kill goes to War. Fallen Leaf goes to War. Jeez.
Ooh, immediately traded back. I believe that was Canner from the attic, and that's gonna be a big kill. An awful lot of control, and I believe that would have been the loss of control of the Goyo shield if it was there. It wasn't. Ninja finding one onto Trap. You kind of expect it in a position like that. He's basically a point blank with a shotgun. There's nowhere for those pellets to go but Trap. The brakes are paused. The drones are double checking where everybody is. When in doubt, you just gotta throw bullets in the general direction of your enemies.
And the Wamai is going to catch that grenade. It's just fortunate.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That's the last EMP as well. It's a very lucky Wamai disc. Know where the player is. That means he can be sprayed down by a Badger. That couch is concealment, but very much not cover. But Explosion will be able to get the refrag with the C4 onto Badger. And now, as we move into the last rounds, 3v2. It's in favor of the attackers in WIT.
15 seconds left.
Not anymore. As Canner knocks Rhythm out, putting it into a 2v2. It's just caps lock now as Canner takes down Explosive.
Drop the bomb.
The Wi-Fi time sight on this Rook is going to be the only thing that
Caps lock.
stands in the way of Canner. Not
Abslok
gonna
only
care.
needed to play the timer down and not get spotted out, but Canner knew where he went and spotted him out. That is going to be an 8-7. This is probably, I think, the longest game that we've had on the all season. Very hard fought victory for TUD, and that is going to put them I believe 2 points ahead of WIT as we move to the final of matches.
23 kills on Ninja. Whew.
Definitely a massive player for but that is all we have for you. Had a 2-0 victory from a team, winning 7-3 on the first map and 8-7 in overtime on the second map. That is all we have for ICE this. Join us again next week, starting, of course, with I believe Valorant on to more Rocket League, produced by myself. Then moving on to Wednesday, we'll have some more CSGO for you. Thursday, we have League of Legends, and I believe start of the playoffs for League of Legends. And then we are going to be back with you next week for Siege on Friday, which will be the very final week before we move into playoffs. But we'd like to thank you all for watching. I've been Celtic, joined by Nasperad. Yeah, final words.
This next week is going to be absolutely ballistic.
Oh, definitely. With every team fighting for that fourth spot, but we'll have to find out how that goes next week. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you till then.